Being a teacher night as an educator, does that give you joy and excitement, or are you just upset that you have another late afternoon or evening? As a parent, how does that make you feel? Excited to meet your kids' teachers, or a little bit nervous to try to figure out what kind of personality you got for the year? Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm an educator with a new job this year and a new commute. And this podcast is my drive time diary. You and me in my car together. Excited for the ride. I'm driving home from Ethan tonight and nights. I have 102 or 103 freshman students, and then another 12 juniors and seniors and AP statistics. So, come on, math teacher, let's do that word. Like 114 or 15 kids. I saw 8 families tonight. Didn't really expect it to be any of the dad's kids at meet the teacher night. Just the way that works out for with juniors and seniors. Typically, they tend to be more off and or know a lot of the parents, but having some freshmen, I expected to be higher up. So I was in second place of the 5 of us, so the number 2 like it was really good to meet the parents. But what I'm really thinking about tonight on my drive home is that anxiety that I see on some parents' faces and going to be the teacher night, and things that I've heard parents say about meeting their kid's teacher. When you send your kids to traditional school, I've talked before about that social contract that we engage into, where we are handing off our cherished, not possession, possess your kid, but some of the things most dear to us, we hand those off to strangers for most of the day, and there's these systems that are in place, and we have this trust that the adults that we hand these people off to are going to be safe for them and caring for them, and we're going to make sure that they're having positive social interaction with all these other kids that are around. When you're in a smaller school like mine is, there's a more of a community feel, and it's more small. Right? I think about like 75% of my students, or that's more than half, go to school together in this district from elementary school all the way through high school. Like, the community of my school works a lot like a small town district, where the parents move there, they stay there, and then a lot of times they send their kids there also once they grow up and become parents themselves. So it operates in a way that a lot of people all know each other and have known each other for a really long time. But like the staff, since the pandemic, just teachers, education as a whole has been a ton of turnover, and my school has been a part of that. I'm a part of that, getting this opportunity at this school. So that, when you really think about it, it's so normal for us. Let me send my kid to 8 strangers for the day. Sometimes we never meet some of the adults that are working in schools with our kids. Our society has these structures in place to do background checks and vet these adults. So you assume that they're fake, but I don't know. When you really get down to it, is that weird that you send your kid off to strangers every day? And I know that definitely just anxiety inducing for the parents, like I said, because if you get, I think this is most heightened in math and or reading, and maybe even more heightened at elementary school when everything is foundational. for all those years. If you get, if your kid gets in a class that they aren't meshing well with the teacher, and your kid just has a bad experience that year, elementary school or in math or reading, that is a big deal. That like sets them back. Like, how many people have stories of, I liked math until I was in so and so, or I liked school until so and so was my teacher, or I liked everything about the school except for that one teacher. Like, the adults in schools, be us educators, we have a ton of facts to make someone's memory of a year really good or really traumatic and bad, or like lifelong stories that they tell. And so, from the parent aspect of this, I know it's really, it can be really anxiety inducing. And so that's why also, I talk about this, I don't know how often, but it's something that I talk about a lot. And it came up in the teacher's lounge today. If you want to know anything about homeschool, talk to Chuck. We are a homeschooling family. My oldest is in 8th grade, and for the most part, she has not ever been in a traditional school for a little bit of time, 1 year, and to spend some time in kids in Boca Raton. But for the most part, her experience has all been in the homeschool community, and extra opportunities that are a part of that, though. But the main mode of education has been, and what it's about. I know my kids enjoy it because they say they do. I know my wife enjoys it because she keeps doing it, and the further we get into it, the better she gets, and the more knowledgeable she gets, and the more that she confidently is able to make decisions. We used to joke several years ago that I was the principal of our homeschool, but my wife has so much experience doing that now that I don't even feel like I could pretend to have that role, because she's just got it on lock. And there's so many things that she knows now about differentiating every subject for 4 different kids all day long and keeping all those records that, like she sailing waters, I don't even have any experience in. I know how to teach math to groups of kids at a time, but the way that when you homeschool or hybrid school, that you are able to specialize your educational offerings to their needs. You got all the experience in that. So maybe she'll let me interview her, have a conversation with her on this podcast someday. But anybody who ever has homeschool questions, I pointed at her because she's the expert. She's phenomenal. I always want to say that I don't feel like people always know is that you have a choice. You can do it. I know that is like weird coming from the teacher, and I love my job. I love what I do. I love getting to work with students. I love meeting their families. I love being a community resource. I love everything about what I do. But I will never, ever say with conviction that that you rule me. Have a choice, and if you are able to exercise that choice to do education all at home, or to do some kind of hybrid, I will always encourage someone to make that choice. And I just know I do. Like, die that their child comes to school for like half day. And it homeschooled the other half of the day. And then on like Friday goes to an arts academy that's kind of part of the homeschool community. And that family is really personalizing their child's education, making those choices. And I don't think enough people know that you could do this, that schools will work with you on this. Maybe if for no other reason, because when you're there for a little bit, they still get state dollar, does it, for your kid there as a student. But even if you live in a great community with great schools, that still doesn't mean that everything happening at that building is going to be 100% the best thing for your kid. Maybe it's 75% great for them. Maybe it's only half. Maybe it's whatever that percentage is. But yeah, you don't have to just choose the public school, even if you don't have money for private schools. And what I see happening in education, especially since the pandemic, and just from what I have experienced myself with my family, is school choice. And I'm saying that specifically not in a voucher kind of situation, but just empowerment of families, also adjacent to the voucher conversation, but school choice in the sense that you can ask the public school to be flexible with your needs. And I am not sure of the law of how far they have to take that, but maybe they're just doing this because they're great, compassionate people. But schools will work with you on that for different kinds of schedules for your kid, for different kinds of educational opportunities. And so we don't have to, us, society, social construct, we don't have to accept this. I hope that my kid's teacher is amazing, or else that year's wasted, because you can be that teacher again. You can do that. As much opportunities you want to step out there and make that move to be even more integrated into your kid's education, like, you can do it. Try it. I don't know. Like, I don't think that, I think it's the kind of thing that you only really know you can do until you're doing it. But I will always 100% say that, I can't think of an educator that is going to have your kids' best interests dialed in, perfectly known, most taken care for. I can't think of anyone who's going to do that better than you, the parent. We care deeply. We try so hard. I mean, we show up for the job. We show up every day. This is what we do. And like the last episode said, we're doing the very best we can. And also, you, the parents, unless you are really dramatically trauma ridden, or you just have really crazy things going on right now. I want you to surprise yourself with how much you could be what's best for your kid also. So use the community public school, to the extent that you need to and want to, and, to the extent that it is a public school, a public good, a public service. Use that school, use that for, your good in the community, and as a resource to educate your child in the way that you want to. And also just know that, you can know that the first day of school is going to be a great opportunity for your kid, because you could be your kid's teacher also. And you don't have to have that anxiety of be the teacher night, because you can show up every day and you can be that person also. All right, I'm almost home. The rules of the Drive Time Diary is that it only happens in the car with no editing required. I push play, I record, it's over. That led to really bad audio on this last episode. You actually listened to that for more than a minute. Shout out to you. You deserve it. So hopefully the audio on this one's better. Yeah, that's all for today. I'd love to hear your feedback, what you think about this. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. C. Baker, the number 4 math, or Drive Time Diary. You can get me on Twitter at Chuck C. Baker. You know me personally, you can always just shoot me a text or email, send me a voice message if you're listening on Spotify. And you can always just shake my hand if you know me in real life also. So that's today. We'll see you on the next drive. Subscribe if you have not yet. You can get me on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. I share all these on Instagram also. You can find it that way also, but you can get delivered. And I know you are there if you are a subscriber. And I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you for your time and your ears and your drive, or however you're listening. We'll see you next time on the Drive Time Diary.